Guys, this is Brian Mounts with turpmechanic.com. There's a light breeze out here today. By light breeze, I mean like this is like a gale, I don't know, it's like 25, 30 mile an hour winds. We've had some serious gusts. I was gonna film like a substantial video today, but it's just not gonna happen. So I'm gonna give you something that's been on my bucket list for the month of June, and I hope you find it enjoyable. A better, more full-length video will be coming later in the week, probably when I have better weather. Can't fight the weather. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while now. Here are my 4 fine fescues. You see I've got creeping red, blowing crazy in the wind. There's hard fescue, chewings fine fescue, and sheep fescue. Now I've been growing all 4 of these fescues in these pots, since I want to call it early September of 2020. At this point, they're approximately 9 months old, and they have gone through a full winter season. What you see here is 9-month-old grass. Each one of these pots has been cut one time. I kid you not, one time. And I cut them at the very end of March 2021. So what was that, after about 6 or 7 months? It was basically the very end of winter. I let these pots stay outside for the duration of winter, and they went into their winter dormancy. And I have a full video about fine fescue and all of the fescues in winter, what they look like, how they withstand winter dormancy. I found it very fascinating. I know it was an underwatched video because it was published in January. Nobody watches grass videos in the month of January, so I'm going to link to that. It's going to be up in here, so make sure to take a look at that. Also, I'll link to it down in the description below. But in that experiment over the winter, I found of these 4 fescues that the hard fescue and the chewings fescue retained an enormous amount of their color all the way through winter. And that went all the way from January into mid or late March, when I finally cut them for the first time as we emerged from our winter slumber, as spring started. Man, the wind, it's crazy. I actually really enjoy being out here in weather like this. It's actually a warm day. I'm in a t-shirt. It's like 40 mile an hour winds right now. That thing might just blow away. I don't know. I got it like weighed down with sandbags. Anyway, the hard fescue and the chewing fescues retained an enormous amount of color throughout the winter. These things usually stay over here on this side of my house, which is the shady part. You see over here, there's full shade right here. In the morning, we get shade from the trees coming down there. And then there's a small window of time when they get some sun, and then it goes back into shade. The thing is, all fine fescues do really well in shade, and they are frequently put into sun and shade mixes for that reason. So if you live in a colder climate, or a climate crazy like this, you're going to end up seeing a lot of fine fescues mixed into those sun and shade mixes because they're going to make a lawn perform better in those shady areas. Now, with creeping red fescue, there are some interesting things that I want to talk to you about very specifically here. I am literally going to get out of the wind because this is just comical enough. I'm going to take these pots inside, give them a trim, a cut, and then I want to talk more specifically about creeping red fescue specifically, because I think it's pretty unique in all of the cold season grasses, not just the fescues or the fine fescues, but when we're talking about cold season grasses, it is very unique. And I want to go more into detail on that from the garage. All right, now before I get this into the garage and trim these, I want to take a pit stop here on my kitchen table. All right, right here I got the sheep's fescue. I got a whole video about the sheep's fescue, and I want you to note the seed head right up here. See the seed head? It is long and wispy on the top. And I've got a second seed head coming up here. It's kind of the same way. It doesn't really want to focus on it all that great. Now here I've got the chewing fine fescue. I don't have a seed head that I can show you quite yet, but hard fescue is the same thing. Here's the hard fescue pot. The hard fescue has, again, this similar tall whiskey seed head. Look at this. The difference over here with creeping red, where we've been playing games and painting with my kids, but here with the creeping red, you can see this seed head follows the same pattern. It's tall and narrow, but it doesn't have those whiskey kind of whiskers coming off of these little seeds. So it is unique to this. And also before I trim this, I want you to take a look. Creeping red, this is a vibrant kind of bright green, whereas these others are kind of more dingy evergreen style. That one's hard fescue is a little bit more vibrant, but I think you can see it in this video. All right, this is a little bit better. There's nowhere near as much wind in here. There's zero. I got my lawnmowers behind me. If you're new to this channel, most of my videos are outside. I don't like coming in here. I want to do everything outside, but sometimes the wind is nuts. So here I am. I have a lot of lawnmower stuff on the channel. I have a lot of lawn care stuff on the channel, but I have a lot of educational stuff like this too. So if you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button, disregard the wind, and let's get talking about this stuff right here. All right, right here I've got sheep's fescue. Now I have an entire video that I published in November of 2020 about sheep's fescue. I considered this to be the best low maintenance cold season grass type of them all. Now all of these are fine fescues. They're all very similar, but in my opinion, this was the best one for low maintenance. And you can go take a look at that video again if you want to find out my reasoning. I still really like this grass type. However, I've been really coming into my appreciation for creeping red. Now, again, back in January of 2021, I posted a video about fescue in the winter. Now I went into some of the tall fescues as well, but these were featured, and these across the board for all of the fescues retained the most amount of color of them all. Like hands down, if you want a grass type in the colder northern parts of the country that's going to retain color through the winter, regardless of your temperatures, fine fescue is the way to go. Man, all of these did great. However, hard fescue was the clear winner. No matter what, hard and chewings were really, really great. And they were just head and shoulders above your turf type tall fescues, your Kentucky 31s. Again, I'll link to that below. Take a look at that if it interests you whatsoever. But creeping red fine fescue is particularly interesting because now that we're like deep into spring, almost bordering on summer, here in Oregon, this grass type has the most vibrant green color of them all. These are all a little bit more dingy green. I mean, it's a dark green. Some people might appreciate this green more than this, but I like this brightness a little bit better. What's cool about it though, other than the brightness, is the fact that this not only is a shade tolerant or a shade thriving grass, all of these get mixed into cold season shade mixes, but this one is shade and drought tolerant. Now they're all relatively drought tolerant, but this grass type right here is going to require the least amount of water. Quite honestly, this is probably going to thrive the best under drought and under shade of all of these. Creeping red is really going to do its best under shade and drought. Now they're all going to do pretty good, but what's really cool about it, because none of them do very well under high traffic areas. So let's say, for instance, something digs a hole in the ground, or I don't know, maybe you have like an animal track, some sort of like, you know, I don't know, the dog always runs this way, or maybe you have like squirrels that run through your yard constantly through the winter. All of these are going to show signs of wear, but this one is going to repair itself. And that's what sets itself apart from all of the other cold season grasses. And I'm dead serious, all of the cold season grasses. Now, Kentucky bluegrass is well known to be able to spread laterally and fix itself. Kentucky bluegrass has rhizomes that can spread side to side. But here's the thing, this grass type, creeping red, is the only one of all of the cold season grasses, or at least all of the cold season turf grasses. There might be some ornamentals out there that I don't know about, but of all of the turf grasses, this one has stolons and rhizomes, and it will spread side to side. It will fix itself. If there is damage due to, I don't know, maybe an over fertilization spot from the dog, maybe there's like a squirrel track running through it that just kind of like wears a section down. Whatever the problem is, maybe you have to dig up a sprinkler head, it will fix itself, which is amazing because none of the others have stolons or rhizomes. This one has both, and none of the other cold season grasses have stolons at all. There are two different kinds of creeping red fescue. You have to really dig deep onto a label, and not even all labels are going to even tell which ones they are. So generally speaking, some of these creeping red fescues are going to grow laterally, like the rhizomes are going to be more aggressive, and some of them are going to be less aggressive. But no matter what red fescues you get, you're going to have that lateral spread, which is fantastic. It's going to perform well under drought, it's going to perform well in shade, and you don't need to fertilize it that much. We're talking very little at all. You might be able to get by without fertilizing at all in any given year. Maybe every other year you could give it a good dose of fertilizer, but that's pretty much it. So long as you stay with the organics and natural stuff that doesn't release fast into the grass, it's going to be happy. Now, none of these grasses, creeping red included, perform really very good under high traffic environments. So you're not really going to want to have it in a yard if you've got dogs running around all the time. You're not really going to want to have it in your front lawn where the mailman walks back and forth every single day. And you know, you can fill in the blanks, all of the other scenarios. But if you've got a shady part of your lawn, for instance, me over here by the front side, the front northeastern side of my house, I've got a chunk of yard space where I have gravel at this point, but I don't want gravel to be there forever. So I'm gonna be putting this down in the fall. Here's my baby girl, and here's my big kid, my little big kid. Say hi.
Hi.
Hi, my name's Jake.
My name is Jake.
Hi, my name is Esther. So anyway, over here on this side of the house, we don't really like gravel. So I'm gonna be ripping a lot of that gravel out, and I'm gonna be putting in creeping red fescue over there. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure that you do, because right now as I'm recording this, it's June 2021. We're talking in 2 to 3 months. My son just moved the camera. Anyway, I'll wrap this up. Late August, early September, I'm gonna be reseeding that area of my lawn with a straight creeping red fescue. I'm really excited about it. It's gonna like fill in a lot of the holes. We do have animals running around through here. We do have a lot of animals running around through here during the winter. Yeah, you wanna play on that. That'll be good on the side of the house. We have lots of animals running around through here, and we don't like tracking gravel into the house through the front yard, because in the middle of like December and January, it's dark at 4:30, 4:45 around here. So when we're out in the front yard, we're tracking stuff in all the time. That's where our sledding hill is, after all. Anyway, I wanted to leave you with this short video here today to really kind of talk to you about the differences between these. There's not a ton of differences between them, quite honestly. I really believe if you want color throughout the winter and you live up north, hard fescue is amazing. If you really want a grass type that requires almost no maintenance whatsoever, sheep's fescue is probably the way to go. And if you want something that's going to be able to repair itself and maybe exist in a pretty like healthy way during drought conditions, or maybe it's like a shady area that's just not irrigated, you don't ever want to drag sprinklers over there, creeping red is an awesome option. So this is going to be mixed into the shade tolerant grasses, but it's also going to be mixed into bags of drought tolerant grasses as well. You might find this mixed together with turf type tall fescue for the drought tolerance. It's going to perform all right in full sun, but it will thrive better in a heavier shade environment. So take that for what it's worth. Take a look at the description down below. There are relevant links. Not all of my videos are unpolished like this one. So go watch some more, and I hope to see you in another video down the road. Maybe this one up here.